everyone, and welcome back to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to all of my subscribers. Thank you guys for subscribing to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. I thank you for your love and for your support. If you are new to the channel, you are highly and very welcome. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to Stylish Naija YouTube channel. Hit on the bell also to get an update whenever I upload a new video. If you want to register for our online classes, you can just see my number scrolling through the screen. Send me a message on WhatsApp, and then I'll give you the details of the classes we have available. Okay guys, so in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to cut this one side bustier. It is actually a requested video. Someone actually requested for it, so you can see the picture up there. That is what I'm going to be showing you how to cut this today. Okay guys, so I'm going to make this a very simple bustier. You can actually use any bustier pattern of your choice. So we're going to be using the neck dart bustier for this. Okay guys, so these are the measurements that I'm going to be making use of for this video. So the bust measurement is 34. You divide 34 into 4, you have 8.5 for beginners that don't know how this measurement works. And then we have 28 inches for the under bust. You divide into 4, you have 7. And then the half cut or the waist is 30 inches. I beg your pardon. So when you divide into 4, you have 7.5. Okay, so you can see how it is. You have 7.5. So these are the 3 major basic measurements that we're going to be making use of. So I'm going to draft the front first, and then we'll use the front to cut out the back piece. All right, so now let's get started. I have some basic lines already here. The first line I have here is my shoulder line. This is my bust line. This is my under bust, and then this is the waist. So these 3 measurements, for people that don't know, this is this is this, and then this is this. So the shoulder measurement, so for the shoulder I'm going to be making use of 12 inches for my shoulder. That's 13 inches, I beg your pardon. So the 13 inches, when you divide 13 into 2, for the shoulder you divide into 2, I'm going to have 6.5. So I'll come here and then I'll place my 6.5 here. So I'm just going to add just about 1 inch or half of an inch for my stitching allowance. Half of an inch is okay. You can do 1 inch. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do, so now from this point I'm just going to come down by half of an inch, and then I'll slope that half of an inch into the neckline area of my pattern. And then the next thing I'm going to do now, we're going to take out our dart. So for the dart, I'll come to this down part. Okay, let's do from the under bust part, which is okay. So your bust span measurement, which is from one nipple to another, that's what we call the bust span. So for this, the bust span is actually 8 inches. So when you divide 8 inches into 2, you have 4 inches. So I'm going to add about 1/4 of an inch. That's half of an inch. That's what I'll add as the allowance. I'm not adding up to 1 inch. So I'll just mark it here like this, and then I'll come to this point also, to the under bust, to the bust point line also. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'll add it there also, and then from this point I'm going to connect these 2 lines like this. I'll connect them, and then I'll run that line straight to the top. So I'll run it straight to the top, since it is a neck dart that we're doing. If it was a shoulder, that will increase that part, but we'll run it straight, and then just run it to the down parts of our pattern like this. Okay, so the next thing now, we're going to take out our dart. So you come to this under bust part for the dart. So for the dart, because I want it to curve out nicely, I'm going to use 1 inch on both sides to take out my dart. And that 1 inch, I'll connect it on this, to the bust area like this, and then I'll connect this one to this side also, and then I'll come to the top part. On my right hand side, I will take out 1 inch from the top part here, and then on this side I'll take out half of an inch like this, and then I'll connect this line to this like this. So it's not going to be sharp like this, so we are going to give it a little bit of curve. Okay, so on this part I'm just going to blend this you just blend it. You can use your pattern curve. It's not meant to be straight. It's meant to be curved and not pointy. Okay, so from this pattern now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to blend this into my dart on this side. I'll just blend this into, okay, I'll blend this way, and that is the permanent marker, and then this comes in this way. So these are the darts that I'm going to take out. So the next thing now, we're going to cut this out now. I'm going to cut out my dart first, and then we'll place it and then cut out. So you can see what I have. So you can see that curve. And then on this one also, I will negotiate that curve. It's not going to be straight. This actually gives you a very perfect bustier. So you can see what we have here. So I'll cut out this shoulder slope. So the next thing now, I'm going to place this on this, and then we'll take out our full body measurement. Just place it just a little bit like this, you can see. Okay, so now the next one, we're going to add this measurement, which is the first measurement, which is our bust measurement. Before then, on our shoulder line, you know our shoulder line that we marked, then I'm going to take out my armhole. So you can decide to do that. I should have done it before I did the actual draft. So please just do this before you do the actual draft, so it does not get confusing to you. Okay, so now let's continue. Just place this like this, and then we're going to mark out our 8.5 inches. So you'll place that 8.5 here like this. I will mark it, just make sure, and then I'll add just about 1 inch to it for my allowance. When I'm transferring to my fabric, I'll add more allowance. So the next one is the under bust, which is 7 inches. You come to this point like this, and then you add your 7 inches. Please, for those of you that are watching that don't know how to do this, I would advise for you to practice this. Actually helps a lot. And then I'll add my allowance. It actually helps a lot. Just practice along. That actually makes it easier for you. So from this point, I'll blend those two lines now to this one like this. And then the next one is this one. That's the waistline, which is 7.5. So I'm going to place my 7.5 here like this, and then I will go ahead and add my allowance also, and then I will blend these lines together like this. Okay, so now we're done. The next thing now is for us to carve out the bustier pattern nicely. So with this, I'm going to use this to cut out my back pattern. It is a very simple process. I'm just going to place it like this, and then I will place this, because the back is not a bustier, it is a simple straight. So I'll place it like this, and then I will cut out the frame. So this, because I don't want to go and start drafting the back pattern again, that is why I'm doing this. So now you can see. So what I'm just going to do now, I'm going to add my dart lines here, which is going to be here like this. So I'm adding a simple waist dart. So we'll keep the back pattern. You can see how beautiful it looks. I'll keep that on the side, and then we'll work with this pattern. So I'll get a pencil. That's what we used to draft before I cut it out. Okay guys, so now we're going to draw out our style line now for the on the pattern. So you do style line in drawing out this this shoulder and style line. You can decide to actually do it before transferring, that's before cutting out your dart. So you can do it however you want to. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to mark out, I want to measure out my neckline. So this will help us guide, you understand, on the part that has the shoulder. So for the, I'm going to make use of a pencil. When creating a style line, it's always good for you to use a pencil before using your marker, so you'll be able to clean. So it depends on how wide you want the neckline to be. So for the neckline, I'm going to use about 3 1/4. So I'm going to use 3 1/4. So this is the width of my neckline, 3 1/4. So it is from this part, this is where I'm going to create out the curve that went to the shoulder part. So this will help. So you cannot just start creating without having a range or a guide for the neckline. So that's the neckline point. I'm going to go ahead, I'll mark it here, and then I'll open up my pattern now. I'll open up my pattern. So on this other side, I'm going to mark out the tube part of my dress. So you can determine that depending on how high or how low. So you can just follow the armhole area. So for this pattern, I'm going to make use of my armhole. That's from my underarm hole. I'm just going to keep marking it. So this is my center front. I'm going to mark it. Let me put a line on it, so because this will help us guide. So this is my center front. So from that armhole, I'm just going to create a curve. You can decide to come high, you can decide to come low, depends on how curvy you want it to be. So I'll blend it into the center front like this. So on this center front also, I'm going to create out another line, just like 1/4 inch. So when transferring to the fabric, all of this, I'm add them on the allowance part, like 1/4 inch. So I'll blend the first one into that line, and then I'll come, remember this line that we marked on this side. So from this side now, I'm going to start creating out the style line for the shoulder part. So this is the part that has the shoulder. I'll just create a curve, depends on what I want. If it is not looking good, I will clean it and then do it again. That's the beauty of making use of the pattern. So I'm just going to blend it. I'll go ahead, I'll blend it into the second line that I have. So you can see what I have now. So this is what I have. So I think this is good. So I'll go ahead, I'll highlight it with my pattern curve right now. Okay guys, so after creating this now, the next thing now, we're going to cut our pattern. So guys, so this is the front of our pattern. So this we are taking out, so this is not needed. If you want to add a yoke, you can use this for a yoke, and then this other one of course also. So now the next thing we're going to, so this is for the front pieces, so you can decide to just label them. The next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut out the back. So for the back, it is a simple process. I already have the back, so my darts are already marked out. The next thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to mark the part where that's for the neckline. For the neckline, so I'll leave my zip allowance. So I'm going to use my 3 1/4. So you see that it landed on the dart line. So I just want to be sure. So you can see that it landed on the dart line, which is just perfect. So that's where the neckline is going to cut through. The next thing now, you're going to remember for this piece, that's for the front piece. I'm just trying to place it. Okay, yeah. So I'm just trying to place it. It actually came from the armhole area, so I don't want to confuse you, so I'll just leave that. So from the armhole, that is where we are marking from, so that these two parts after stitching, so that they blend together, so that is why we are doing this. This one is okay. No, it's this fourth piece that I need. This piece, yeah. Okay guys, so for the back piece, what we are going to be working with is the neckline width that we use for the front part. So for that neckline width, so you, after adding my taking away my zipper allowance, so you can see it ended on the dart line, which is just perfect. So this is where we're going to be creating our curve from. The next thing, I'm going to take this side piece of the front piece, and then I'm going to place it like this. So this will help me as a guide on how to flow this into. So it depends on how deep you want your back piece to be. Depends on how deep. So this is just how it's going to be, but depends on how deep. If you want this part to be deeper, so I'm going to measure what I have. If you want it to be deeper, you can decide to come down more and then still make sure you blend it into this armhole area. So it depends on what you want, and then blend it into the neckline area. So I hope you understand what I'm trying to do. That is why I'm using pencil, so I'll be able to do whatever I want. So if you want a deeper back neckline, you can come down, or if you want the one that is not too deep, you can just come upward. But whatever you do, make sure it goes on the neckline of the side that has the shoulder, and then it goes on the armhole of the part that is a tube. So that is for the back piece. So for mine, I'm going to go with this first line. I'm going to go with this, so I'll blend this in like this. So at the end of the day, my back neckline is going to be about 6 inches, which is okay. It is not too deep. So that is for the back neckline. So I'm going to cut this out now for the back. So this is not in use. And then this is for the part that has the shoulder, and then I'll open up my dart on my back piece. So for this, you have to be very careful. So I'm not going to cut it all off until after transferring to my fabric. Okay, so this is for the back piece. And then this is the front piece. Okay guys, so for this tutorial, I'm going to stop this tutorial here right now. In another tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how to actually sew this. So I'll show you guys how to couple this together. So thank you so much. If you find this video helpful, please, I would appreciate if you would hit on the like button. If you have not subscribed to Stylish Naija YouTube channel already, please, I would appreciate if you would subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much guys. I will see you in my next video. God bless you.